must be received and given help, if even under makeshift conditions. You don't need to have a comfortable bed to save a patient. No patient must be turned away from any health facility they report to. Mr. Speaker, but in the meantime, government will expand capacity by implementing the Rich Hospital Phase 2 project to increase the number of beds at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. We will also continue and complete the Police Hospital project, and also continue and complete the La General Hospital. Mr. Speaker, in the Ashanti region, we will complete the Sewa Regional Hospital. We will complete the Aferi Military Hospital. And we will complete the Konfanoche Teaching Hospital, Maternity and Children's Block. Mr. Speaker, we remain on course to build a stronger, more resilient, and more self-reliant health system for all Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, roads are a very important sector. We inherited a burden of significant financial obligations and structural pressures in the road sector that had accumulated over the years. As of December 2024, outstanding payments on road projects financed through the consolidated fund stood at 21 billion Ghana cedis. These were certified works executed by contractors across the country for which payment had not been made. In addition, indebtedness to contractors that was lodged with the Ghana Road Fund Secretariat and awaiting payment amounted to 5.43 billion Ghana cedis. This figure excludes accruing interest charges, which continue to compound the state's financial exposure. Mr. Speaker, beyond these arrears, we inherited also contractual commitments, that is signed contracts, totaling more than 104 billion Ghana cedis. These commitments represent signed contracts for road projects at various stages of execution, many of them without corresponding secured funding to guarantee timely completion. By the end of 2025, the Ministry of Finance and Roads had cleared arrears amounting to almost 10 billion Ghana cedis owed to road contractors. And we are steadily continuing to reduce the road sector debts. Mr. Speaker, the famous Big Push infrastructure program. This is my vision for a national infrastructure drive to restore critical national infrastructure. Naturally, the bulk of the money is dedicated to the road sector. We want to open economic corridors, create jobs, and reduce the cost of doing business. Mr. Speaker, as I speak to you, work has started on 50 major road projects that cover a distance of 1,144 kilometers. The total estimated cost of these projects is 50 billion Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, government is also completing 23 projects that were awarded by the previous administration but were not paid for. These projects amount to another 573 kilometers and are estimated to cost 15 billion cedis. So if you add that to the 1,500, it means about 2,000 kilometers of roads are currently undergoing rehabilitation as I speak. This is the biggest major investment in our road sector in the history of Ghana. Across all 16 regions, 73 projects are advancing with significant visible progress expected by the end of the year. Some of these include Tepamaban-Goso, the Kumasi Bypass Road, Swami Interchange and Local Roads, Sunyani Outer Ring Road, Sampa Jinijini Road, Techima Nkonsia Winchi Road, dualization of Winneba Cape Coast Road, Kwau Tafo Adosu Road, Dodowa Afienya Dawenya, Bintiri Nakpanduri, Tamale Outer Ring Road, Wenchi Sola, Sola Wa, Bole Chache, Bole Town Roads, Navrongo Tumu Han Laura, Atimpoku Ho Denu, dualization of Accra Aflao, dualization of Cape Coast Akrade, Dadieso Akontombra, to name just a few. Mr. Speaker, other feeder roads are Akosombo Jakiti Kudupe, Kudikope, Yeniam Junction Sedom, Apegusum Pakadan, Todome to Palime Gemini Road. Indeed, there are many others too numerous to mention. And as I said at the launch of the Big Push program, the whole of Ghana is going to become a construction site. And Mr. Speaker, Ghanaians can already testify that serious road works are underway across the country. Mr. Speaker, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway will be a 198.7 kilometer, 6-lane high-speed motorway. This expressway is designed to connect Ghana's two largest cities, Accra and Kumasi, and it will reduce the traveling time between Accra and Kumasi to approximately 2.5 hours. Mr. Speaker, this new alignment will have 8 interchanges and will be Ghana's first true expressway. And so government has established the Accra-Kumasi Expressway Limited, which is a subsidiary of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, as the concessionaire that will be mandated to design, to finance, construct, operate, and maintain the expressway, with the Ministry of Roads and Highways as the contracting authority. The project delivery is structured as a long-term concession of up to 50 years. Mr. Speaker, this expressway will be Ghana's first purpose-built expressway with limited access points, so goats and sheep cannot cross at any point. Mr. Speaker, it's designed for higher speed limits and modern safety infrastructure to reduce travel time and improve road safety. Preparatory activities including feasibility studies, the detailed designs and cost assessments are currently underway. This major road construction work aims to improve mobility, safety, and trade while connecting communities to markets and essential services. Mr. Speaker, the Eastern Corridor. We aim to complete all unfinished segments of the Eastern Corridor Road by the end of 2027. Mr. Speaker, we'll continue and complete the 27.7 Accra-Tema Motorway and Extension Project. And this includes reconstructing the Accra-Tema Motorway into a 4-lane expressway with 3-lane service roads in both directions, and interchanges at Ashaman. Where you have the Ashaman underbridge, it will now be an interchange. There will be another interchange at Community 18 and Teshi Link. Mr. Speaker, it also involves remodeling the Tetekwashi interchange. Construction works are ongoing and progress is at 32%. Mr. Speaker, other important projects include the Kumasi Inner Ring Road, the Volivo Bridge over the Southern Volta River, the Dambai Bridge over the River Oti, and the Adoso Bridge over the River Afram at Eche Amanfrom. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Roads has received cabinet approval to reintroduce road tolls on our roads and our bridges. Mr. Speaker, this time using advanced technology to improve efficiency, transparency, and avoid leakages in revenue generation. Preparatory work is underway to ensure the reintroduction of tolling operations this year. Mr. Speaker, there is no doubt that an effective and efficient transport system is integral to any economic development plan. So to improve public transport services in the country, government is supporting Intercity SEC Coaches Limited, Metro Mass Transit Limited, and the private road transport operators to renew their fleet. Currently, a total of 300 buses have been procured to improve road transport. The initial batch of 100 buses is scheduled to arrive in the country by the end of the first quarter of this year. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of my pledge to re-establish a national airline, a 10-member task force established to oversee this initiative has submitted a business model and operational framework to guide the selection of a strategic partner for the new national airline. And this new national airline will take off soon, inshallah. Mr. Speaker, passenger traffic handled by the Ghana Airports Company increased to 3.625 million passengers in 2025. This was an increase from 3.4 million in 2024. In response to the rising passenger traffic and congestion at the Accra International Airport's new Terminal 3, we are remodeling Terminal 2 into a dual-purpose facility to serve both domestic and international flights. So, when the remodeling of Terminal 2 is finished, all the domestic flights and some of the international flights will be moved to Terminal 2 so that we ease the congestion on Terminal 3. This will improve operational efficiency and enhance the overall passenger experience. Mr. Speaker, Accra's Terminal 3 remains amongst the best in Africa. A new concourse will link Terminal 2 and Terminal 3 so that passengers arriving in Terminal 2 and having to move to Terminal 3 won't have to come out and walk. They'll go through the concourse. Mr. Speaker, Terminal 3 is going to be supported by a new 7-story floor car park. It will also have an airport hotel and retail amenities to service the passengers. Mr. Speaker, runway expansion and overlay is currently being undertaken to strengthen the Accra International Airport's runway. Mr. Speaker, we will also begin work on new regional airports in Sunyani, in Bolgatanga, and Wa. In Sunyani, the current location of the airport is not appropriate to extend the runway, and so we have to move and build a new airport at a different location. Bolgatanga, the site has been acquired and work will commence. Wa also, we have to move the airport from where it is because it almost intersects the road and the airport slopes upwards, making it inappropriate for air travel. Mr. Speaker, we are also reverting the airport in Accra, the international airport in Accra, to its original name, the Accra International Airport. Even though NLC Decree 129 was passed, no effort or nothing was done to effect the clause in the decree that said that the airport should be renamed after Kotoka. So in all international records in ICAO and IATA, that airport in Accra, the international airport, remains named Accra International Airport. Mr. Speaker, we are working to fully operationalize the Tema and Pakadang rail line to maximize passenger and freight traffic between Tema and the north using the Volta Lake waterway. The Western and Eastern railway lines will continue to be modernized in partnership with the private sector. These projects are aimed to support the efficient transport of container and bulk cargo to and from our ports, as well as to facilitate the efficient haulage of minerals from mines in Usuta, Awaso, and Yinehing to the Takrady port, while also providing passenger transport along the respective rail corridors. Mr. Speaker, As part of the 24-hour economy initiative, a new 24-hour operation has started at Tema Port, allowing access to port services around the clock. This development enables importers to clear their goods at any time, significantly easing congestion at the terminals like the transit terminals, the reefer terminal, and the Golden Jubilee terminal. The initiative brings together customs, banking, and other relevant agencies to enhance efficiency, low transaction costs, and boost Ghana's competitiveness as a major trade hub. Cabinet has reviewed the designs and feasibility study for the Keita Port and directed the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to present an action plan and a roadmap for the realization of the project at the earliest possible time. Mr. Speaker, the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, as part of its expansion efforts, has established a new operational office at Adenta Bus Terminal in Accra. If you need any service in the night from DVLA, go to Adenta. There's an office open there day and night. Mr. Speaker, this modern facility operates around the clock, providing continuous service to improve accessibility and convenience for our motorists in Adenta municipality and the whole general Accra area. Mr. Speaker, communications is important, and under the Rural Telephony and Digital Inclusion Project, implemented through the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications, GIFEC, we extend voice and data connectivity to unserved and underserved communities. We've targeted the construction of 2,016 cell sites all over underserved and unserved communities. 1,561 of these 2,016 cell sites have been constructed, and of this number, 1,144 have been activated. Work is ongoing to activate the remaining 417 sites. Preparations are also well underway to commence construction of the remaining 455 sites. Mr. Speaker, under the School Connectivity Initiative, over 62,000 digital resources have been uploaded to the Ghana Knowledge and Skills Bank, enabling seamless access across multiple devices, from PCs to laptops to tablets and smartphones, for more than 600,000 users, including teachers, students, and researchers. Mr. Speaker, as part of the government's research agenda to ensure Ghanaian youth acquire essential digital skills for the modern global economy, I launched the 1 Million Coders program in March 2025. This initiative aimed to train 1 million Ghanaians in key digital areas, including data analytics, data protection, cybersecurity, the metaverse, and artificial intelligence over 4 years. Phase 1 of the program, that is the pilot phase, saw hundreds of trainees complete their training programs in person across 4 training centers that were established in Accra, Kumasi, Sunyani, and Bolgatanga. Mr. Speaker, phase 2, which will include virtual sessions, is set to commence this year, with expanded training centers and an increased number of beneficiaries. We project that 400,000 young Ghanaians will be trained this year, and this will build up to the numbers approaching 1 million. Mr. Speaker, the fight against corruption has remained a defining priority of my government and represents a central pillar of our commitment to good governance and accountability and the prudent management of public resources. Mr. Speaker, we've made progress through strengthening collaboration among law enforcement agencies, financial intelligence institutions, and prosecutors. These efforts have led to initiation of criminal proceedings and asset forfeiture proceedings against some individuals and entities implicated in financial crimes against the state. But yes, I agree with the sentiments of Ghanaians that we must press harder on this accelerator. As of December 2025, IOCO has recovered more than 600 million Ghana cedis. The office has investigated 462 cases, with 15 currently under prosecution. It has dismantled transnational carjacking syndicates and has recovered 29 luxury vehicles that were stolen. Mr. Speaker, the government remains resolute that corruption will not be tolerated, regardless of status or political affiliation. The Attorney General's office will continue to use both criminal prosecution and non-conviction-based assets recovery mechanisms to ensure that stolen public resources are returned for national development. Mr. Speaker, I understand that a large majority of Ghanaians are impatient to see those who abuse their public trust in office held to account. Mr. Speaker, there were periods when, under military regimes and unconstitutional governments, extrajudicial means could be used to exact retribution against persons perceived as corrupt or who had abused the mandate given to them by the people. Mr. Speaker, this may have appeared as swift justice, but many regrettable excesses were recorded. In 1992, we overwhelmingly adopted the 1992 Constitution to accept governance by the rule of law. On 7th January, when I swore the oath of office before the people of Ghana, I swore to uphold the 1992 Constitution. I may be as impatient as everyone else to see justice done, but painstaking investigations must be conducted, dockets must be prepared, charges must be filed, and the accused must have their day in court, including appealing even on the smallest point of law to higher courts. This process is necessary to protect us all against abuse or ill treatment of citizens and to ensure that only those guilty of offenses against the state are punished. As President Mills of blessed memory said, he said, and I quote, "The wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine." Mr. Speaker, let me reassert my determination to uphold the accountability of public office holders to the people of Ghana. We have laid the Public Officers Code of Conduct Bill before Parliament. This bill codifies the conduct of public officers and makes breaches thereof punishable. I wish at this juncture to thank His Lordship, the Chief Justice, for establishing additional specialized high courts to address breaches identified in the Auditor General's report. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution review process was conducted in a transparent and consultative manner, drawing on input from constitutional experts, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, religious leaders, political parties, and the general public. The review committee has submitted its comprehensive report containing detailed proposals to amend the Constitution to address identified weaknesses and make it more welfare enhancing. Mr. Speaker, the Attorney General's office is working closely with relevant stakeholders to translate the recommendations into implementable legal and constitutional proposals, which will be presented to this August House in accordance with constitutional procedures. Mr. Speaker, illegal mining continues to pose a grave threat to our environment, water bodies, public health, and national security. Mr. Speaker, prosecution of persons engaged in illegal mining has been intensified, with a renewed focus on dismantling organized criminal networks behind galamsey operations, rather than targeting only the little fish, low-level offenders. Mr. Speaker, in all these galamsey operations, there are big fish who never get caught. Mr. Speaker, in total, over 114 case dockets involving hundreds of accused persons are pending in various courts across the country, particularly in towns and villages that are prone to illegal mining. Specialized prosecutorial teams have been deployed to fast-track illegal mining cases, ensure the effective presentation of evidence, and pursue the confiscation and forfeiture of equipment and proceeds used in or derived from illegal mining. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to gender and social protection, my government will continue to ensure gender equality and equity, promote the welfare and protection of children's rights, and empower the vulnerable, the aged, and persons with disability for sustainable national development. Work is well advanced on the Women's Development Bank, for which a total of 401 million Ghana cedis has been allocated in the 2026 budget. The coming months will see a full rollout of this monumental policy to empower Ghanaian women and women-owned businesses economically and financially. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Gender and Social Protection has successfully honored all legacy leave payment cycles for 2025 and before, reaching 1.5 million people. It has also ensured the full implementation of the Ghana School Feeding Program in over 12,000 public schools across all 261 districts of this country. Mr. Speaker, the number of beneficiary pupils under the school feeding program has increased from 3,801,491 for the 2023-2024 academic year to 4,231,059 for the 2024-25 academic year. This program is providing gainful employment to 34,000 caterers and cooks nationwide. Mr. Speaker, in the security sector, Ghana faces evolving security threats. Our troops, services, and agencies have, however, remained firmly committed to strengthening national peace and security, which underpin our democracy, development, and social cohesion. This commitment encompasses internal security operations, international peace support missions, strategic investment in restructuring and retooling and improvement in troops' welfare, recruitment, and capacity development. Mr. Speaker, two recent incidents are evidence of the increasing dangers we face as a nation. The killing of 8 of our compatriots who had gone to a neighboring country to purchase tomatoes, and just yesterday, an attack on Ghanaian fishermen in our waters by pirates reinforced the need for us to retool and adequately equip our security services. Mr. Speaker, I wish to commend the Ghana Armed Forces for conducting a successful medical evacuation of our injured compatriots from Burkina Faso. I also commend the Ghana Navy and the Ghana Air Force, the National Security Council Secretariat, the Chief of Staff's Operations Team, the MP for Ewutu Senya, the Chief Fisherman, and people of Senya Breku for the combined effort that successfully rescued all the stranded 71 fishermen who had been attacked by pirates. I've asked the National Security Coordinator to assist the affected fishermen and replace the stolen outboard motors and fishing gear. Mr. Speaker, the Armed Forces continues to play a key role in containing illegal small-scale mining through the deployment of river guards and support for the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat and assistance to special courts for swift prosecution of offenders. Mr. Speaker, during the year, the Ghana Armed Forces had 2,119 troops with requisite equipment deployed in various peacekeeping missions, reinforcing Ghana's reputation as a dependable and professional contributor to international peacekeeping operations. While Ghana continues to maintain an enviable reputation in international peacekeeping, we must note that many of these peacekeeping theaters where we have operated are winding down due to reduced budgets for UN peace support operations. And so as our troops return home, we must create opportunities for them to train, to remain active, and stay engaged. Mr. Speaker, beyond peacekeeping operations, Ghana continues to demonstrate its strong commitment to international solidarity, humanitarian assistance, and South-South cooperation. In December 2025, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in conjunction with the Ministry of Defense, deployed 54 personnel from our 14 Engineers Brigade to Jamaica to support that country with national reconstruction efforts following the devastation that was caused by Hurricane Melissa, which claimed over 40 lives. In recognition of the scale of the recovery effort and the good work our soldiers were doing in reconstructing the houses in Jamaica, government approved a request from the government of Jamaica asking us to extend the mandate of our soldiers there for another 90 days, which we approved. Mr. Speaker, to further improve operational readiness, the government will continue to invest in vital defense infrastructure and retooling. The construction of a forward operating base at Libo, situated along the Western Maritime Corridor, is ongoing. This facility aims to boost maritime surveillance and better protect offshore oil and gas installations. The Northern Border Security Project, initiated to counter terrorism and transnational crime, is advancing decisively. This project constitutes the first line of defense against any infiltration and extremist threats coming from the Sahel, and it would significantly strengthen the surveillance of our northern border. Plans are well advanced to establish 2 new military barracks in Ejumako in the central region and in Dambai in the Oti region to address emerging security concerns and strengthen the presence of the state in these areas. To further support retooling efforts, agreements have been signed to procure and deliver 4 brand new Eurocopter helicopters and 1 jet for the Ghana Air Force, aimed at replacing the aging fleet and modernizing our air capabilities. The Ghana Armed Forces is carrying out a thorough overhaul of previously grounded aircraft, which involves replacing essential components and bringing them back into service. This aims to quickly restore their operational readiness for the Ghana Armed Forces to enhance mobility and boost troop morale. It forms part of a broader way to acquire 2 brand new offshore patrol vessels, armored personnel carriers, protective gear, ammunition, vehicles, and strategic drones and advanced communication systems to enhance the operational capability of the Army, Navy, and Air Force. We will also continue to prioritize human capital development within the armed forces. A progressive recruitment drive to increase the strength of the Ghana Armed Forces by 12,000 personnel over 4 years to support expansion and operational demands is ongoing. In line with the government's reset agenda, the recruitment process has been decentralized to regional capitals, with selected recruits reporting directly from their regions to training schools, marking a significant shift from the previous Accra-centered system. Mr. Speaker, on a very solemn note, I wish to express my condolences to the families of 6 of our young daughters who died during the stampede at the LWAC Stadium. May their memory be blessed and may they rest in perfect peace. Mr. Speaker, following the revised gratuity regime that was introduced in 2020 under the stewardship of Honorable Nitiwu, extending service by 5 years, under Constitutional Instrument 129, arrears have accumulated. Nitiwu is my friend, don't worry. Arrears have accumulated, Mr. Speaker, because no budgetary provision was made over the 4 years that followed. Afenyo, when we all leave politics, I and Nitiwu are going to the same place in the north. You go to Winneba. Don't worry, we are brothers. Mr. Speaker, this has resulted in over 1 billion Ghana cedis owed to approximately 3,000 personnel across all the different ranks. As part of our commitment to fairness and the resolution of long-standing legacy issues, the government will soon commence payment of gratuity arrears under CI 129. Honorable by the current Military High Command with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Defense, a structured implementation plan has been agreed upon. This will bring closure to the issue that has been outstanding since 2020, and it will ensure that affected personnel receive their rightful entitlements. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Police Service has also received 40 armored vehicles and 100 pickup trucks to enhance their operations. Other security agencies such as the Fire, Prisons, Immigration, BNI, and Narcotics Control Commission will also be retooled to enhance their efficiency. Mr. Speaker, let me take this moment to commend the IGP and his men for the recent major successes they are chalking in bringing dangerous criminals to justice. The trust of the Ghanaian people in their police service is rising again, and I urge you to keep up the standard. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's foreign policy remains a central instrument for advancing our national development, for safeguarding our sovereignty, and projecting our values on the global stage. At a time when the global environment is characterized by profound geopolitical shifts, economic uncertainty, climate-related challenges, and evolving security concerns within our sub-region, government has taken deliberate steps to ensure that Ghana's engagement with the world is purposeful, strategic, and responsive to the needs of our people. In this regard, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has stepped up efforts to align Ghana's external relations with our domestic development priorities. Mr. Speaker, in West Africa, Ghana continues to pursue a policy of good neighborliness, solidarity, and constructive cooperation with all countries in the sub-region. We remain firmly committed to the vision of a peaceful, stable, prosperous, and integrated West Africa, grounded in mutual respect, dialogue, and collective responsibility. Particularly following their withdrawal from the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Ghana believes that continued dialogue and cooperation are indispensable to regional stability, and that disengagement only deepens our collective vulnerabilities. At the continental level, Ghana continues to play an active, principled, and forward-looking role in advancing the African Union's strategic priorities. Today, Ghana currently holds the following prestigious positions. We are AU champions on reparations. We are AU champions for African financial institutions. And Ghana is also the AU champion for gender equality and women's empowerment. Mr. Speaker, I'm humbled by my election as the first vice chairperson of the African Union at the 39th ordinary session, of the AU Assemblies of Heads of State and Government held recently in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Mr. Speaker, it is also gratifying to note that my colleague leaders in West Africa have declared me, John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Opposition. They have declared me unopposed, by the grace of God, sole candidate for the position of chairperson of the African Union when the rotating chairmanship returns to West Africa in 2027. Mr. Speaker, during the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly, I raised Ghana's voice to call for a comprehensive reset of the United Nations to better reflect the current realities, and particularly the role of Africa in global governance and fairness in international financial systems. In line with our multilateral commitments, Ghana announced plans to table a United Nations resolution that recognizes the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime against humanity, and promoting an agenda of acknowledgement, reparative justice, and cultural restitution. Mr. Speaker, I'll formally present this resolution, which has been endorsed and adopted by the African Union unanimously, to the UN in March of this year for consideration by the UN General Assembly. Mr. Speaker, passports have never been easier to acquire than under this regime. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has established 7 new passport application centers in Upper East, Oti, Ahafu regions, Bono East, Northeast, my own region, Savannah, and the Western North region. Mr. Speaker, with this expansion, all 16 regional capitals now host passport application centers, marking a major milestone in the decentralization of passport services. Mr. Speaker, to address systemic delays, the ministry implemented a 24-hour passport production operation at the head office. This enabled the clearance of an inherited backlog of over 40,000 passport applications. As a result of these reforms, Ghana's passport administration now operates with 0 backlog, guaranteeing passport delivery within 15 working days. If you like, try it. Apply for a new passport. Within 15 days, you will receive your passport. Mr. Speaker, to facilitate travel and boost tourism and ease business mobility, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs implemented a 5-day visa processing service across. Currently, significant progress has been made in the design and procurement phase of a national e-visa platform with a targeted rollout plan for 2026. This means if you apply for visa, you apply online and the visa is approved online. You don't need to go to the Ghana embassy to apply. Ghana has also secured new visa waiver agreements with 11 countries to facilitate people-to-people exchange. It means for those 11 countries, Ghanaians don't need passports to go there. You just jump on the plane and appear there, and they'll allow you in. Mr. Speaker, to highlight Ghana's ongoing commitments to international solidarity, we made humanitarian donations to Jamaica, Cuba, Sudan, and Palestine to support disaster relief and conflict-related crises. These donations amounted to millions of cedis and included food, medicine, clothing, cocoa products, blankets, and mattresses, and plastic buckets. Mr. Speaker, I'm also pleased to report that remittances from our relatives abroad, the Ghanaian diaspora, reached a historic high of $7.8 billion in 2025. Mr. Speaker, this is the largest annual inflow ever recorded in Ghana's history. This reflects not only confidence in the Ghanaian economy, but the enduring patriotism of our citizens living and working abroad. Mr. Speaker, these remittances they bring back home support households, they finance education, they build homes, they provide seed money for businesses, and best of all, they stabilize our foreign exchange position. In many respects, our diaspora has become one of the country's most reliable development partners. Without contracts, conditionalities, or fanfare, they are easily one of our most reliable development partners. We must intentionally ensure that citizenship, rather than place of residence, determines one's right to serve the Ghanaian Republic. Ghanaians worldwide who pledge allegiance to this country of theirs and make substantial contributions to its development should not be barred from active participation in public affairs, including the opportunity to hold public office, provided there are appropriate measures to ensure loyalty and accountability. Mr. Speaker, I'm personally in support of the bipartisan bill currently before this House, seeking to address this matter. And it is my hope that it will be passed expeditiously so that our compatriots we're trying to achieve. We're implementing many policies to develop our youth capacity and to create as many jobs as possible to address the major unemployment problem. All our youth activities and job creation programs are ongoing. In 2025, 10,887 young people were trained in entrepreneurship programs and job creation under the Ejumara program. In 2026, an additional 10,000 young people received similar support under the program. The National Apprenticeship Program onboarded 14,000 young apprentices during the pilot phase, and they have started receiving their startup kits after passing out successfully. Training is ongoing across the regions, and when completed, the trainees will be certified by the Commission for TVET to facilitate their access to employment. Mr. Speaker, this year the target for the National Apprenticeship Program has been increased from 10,000 to 100,000 young people, offering many more young people the opportunity to acquire the skills needed for sustainable development. And as I said, when they pass out, they are giving a certificate by TVET to show that they have passed out and have the skill in whatever they learned. In 2025, 86,000 young people were engaged through the Youth Employment Agency, various employment modules under this agency. This year, I've directed the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment as a matter of urgency to review all the youth employment modules under the YEA to reduce duplication and ensure value for money. This is important so that we can channel the resources to the advantage of the teeming youth who are waiting for opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the National Service Authority has signed an MOU with the Ministry of Defense to commence military training for 10,000 national now will receive call-ups to report at various military centers for training. Mr. Speaker, this was a program initiated by our late Minister for Defense of Blessed our competitiveness in export markets, encourage value addition, and generate employment for Ghana's large youth population. My recent visits with expansion new garment factories in Eastern Region, Central Region, and Bono East Region. This will create an estimated 27,000 a 27.04% growth in 2025. Export sector. Of the overall 33.8% of industry's share of gross domestic product in 2025. It emerged as a leading contributor within the industrial sector. The sector generated export earnings of approximately 15.25 billion, accounting for 65.37% of Ghana's total export receipts, out of a total of 23.3 billion. Mr. Speaker, the abolition of value-added tax on mineral exploration activities is expected to significantly reduce upfront costs for investors, improve project economics, and stimulate increased greenfield and brownfield explorations across the country. The fight against galamsey remains complex and demands a multi-dimensional response that integrates strong enforcement, the application of technology, sound regulation, and active community participation. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, in collaboration with the Ministry of Transport and Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ministry of Finance, has registered 1,808 pieces of earth-moving equipment at the ports, of which 1,033 have been fitted with trackers and are being tracked. The protection of our water bodies and forest reserves is ongoing with the deployment of 1,634 blue water guards across Western North Savannah, Upper West, Bono, Eastern Ashanti, Central, Volta, and Northern regions. This nationwide deployment aims to strengthen surveillance, improve rapid response, and enhance on-the-ground enforcement against illegal mining activities that threaten critical water bodies, forest ecosystems, and livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, NIMOS will maintain regular coordinated operations across all 21 identified hotspots to prevent re-entry of illegal miners into these reserves. While temporary deployments yielded positive results, they proved insufficient for sustained enforcement. Mr. Speaker, in the works housing and water subsector, these are vital pillars of Ghana's national development, shaping sustainable livelihoods through reliable water supply and affordable housing that enhance citizens' well-being. Sea defense works are ongoing. We've successfully completed works at Komenda, Ningo Pram, and Elmina. Together, these three projects have protected approximately 15 kilometers of our coastline and safeguarded lives and livelihoods and property. In March 2025, I visited Solakope, Agaveji, and Amutinu in the Ketu South municipality, where tidal waves had displaced thousands of residents. We made a firm commitment to address the devastation. Mr. Speaker, through contract, and in August last year, I officially cut short to commence the project. I'm pleased to inform this House that the project is currently 25% complete and calm has already been restored along the coastline. Notwithstanding these actions, flooding remains a major infrastructural challenge in the country and a top priority for this government. A task force on flooding is in place and coordinating the national mitigation efforts against flooding. Ghana continues to grapple with housing deficit, currently estimated at over 1.8 million units. Some significant strides have been made in the housing sector. In line with government's earlier commitments to complete all ongoing housing initiatives, we have successfully concluded the joint venture arrangement which we inherited for the completion of the Saglemi housing project. The Attorney General is reviewing all related documentation to finalize and commence the project. When these projects are finished, it will increase the number of housing stock available. The TDC in Ghana is also steadily advancing work on 800 housing units under the Akpong Affordable Housing Project at Tema Community 26. To position TDC Ghana as a key player in Ghana's housing industry, I performed a sword cutting ceremony last year for what they call the Oxygen City Housing Project in Ho of all places. That project seeks to address Ghana's housing deficit by developing 1,000 affordable housing units. We've also continued with our resettlement housing efforts for the victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage, with 251 of the planned 1,010 housing units in critical housing zones already under construction. Collectively, these initiatives demonstrate government's continued resolve to expand access to affordable housing, strengthen urban planning, and provide relief to affected communities. Mr. Speaker, renewable water resources are estimated at about 54 billion cubic meters, with over 70% derived from the Volta River, which is shared among 6 riparian nations. We're implementing key interventions to expand and improve water services nationwide. So the following urban water supply projects are at various stages of completion. The Keta Waterworks, the Wenchi Water Supply Project, secondly, Takrady Water Supply Project. And I'm happy to announce that Anyako has good, clean drinking water today, and the Community Water and Sanitation Agency will commission the project next week. It will also serve the island community of Seva. We will begin preparatory work on the Damango and Sunyani water supply expansion projects and seek to finalize all financing arrangements for other water supply projects in Tamale, Yendi, Techiman, and Takwa. Mr. Speaker, the Danish government has allocated grant support to improve water supply services in low-income and high-density areas in Wa and Bolgatanga, aiming to address water challenges and provide relief to vulnerable populations. Mr. Speaker, the following rural water supply projects are ongoing: Asankregwa, Sehiyoso, Duadaso, Kwemandamfa, Goso, Dwabing, Aveime, and Edumbamso. To strictly follow the resetting agenda and secure sufficient funding, the Ministry of Finance has allocated 6.3 billion Ghana cedis to the District Assembly's Common Fund. This amount covers 4 quarters of the 2025 fiscal year, and it has been allocated to all 261 metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to execute their activities outlined in the medium-term development plans and annual action plans. Mr. Speaker, out of the amount released, a total of 4.3 billion has been dispersed to all MMDAs. The 4th quarter installment is being processed and will be disbursed soon. Mr. Speaker, all members of this House will agree with me. All members of this House will agree with me that the flow of resources to the district assemblies is unprecedented. All your assemblies are receiving more money than they've ever received in several years. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of government's commitment to strengthen local governance and decentralization, the ministry has, for the first time in the history of local governance, disbursed a total of 100 million Ghana cedis in monthly allowances to all assembly members. Unprecedented, assembly members have received their allowances. The Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs has also finalized designs for the new 24-hour economy modern markets to be constructed in all metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies. Mr. Speaker, procurement processes are far advanced to commence the construction of these markets, and very soon, in all your districts, honorable members, you will have a 24-hour market operational. Mr. Speaker, our tourism and creative arts sector has a lot to offer. Creatives using the new media are giving our nation greater prominence than we could have achieved through any first-class traditional media outlet. Our economy will not be built only by traditional sectors, but also by human creativity sectors that will absorb those people who will be displaced from the shop floor by the new AI technologies that are being rolled out. Ghana has become a favorite tourist destination because of our history, culture, our arts, our music, our fashion, and our food. Government has allocated 20 million Ghana cedis to the film sector alone. This is going to the film sector to support Kumawood and Gollywood and all the woods. Mr. Speaker, another 20 million cedis has been given for the other creative sectors. I believe that this injection of money will bolster our creative sectors. Mr. Speaker, I wish to assure the creative industry and the Ministry of Tourism that I'll be your personal ambassador. Efforts to bring events and conferences to Ghana. We are going to undertake the refurbishment of the Accra International Conference Center to restore it to its iconic past as the country's national and international events and conference venue. Mr. Speaker, the original contractors of the center, Enego Project, Ghana Limited, have conducted a structural integrity assessment at the request of the Office of Chief of Staff and made recommendations for the facilities renovation and refurbishment. They will commence this work in the next few weeks. But Mr. Speaker, the AICC is not enough for a country seeking to develop its creative sector and become West Africa's destination for meetings, conferences, musical concerts, and entertainment. So working with the private sector, work will also commence this year on a befitting convention and creative events center to position Ghana as West Africa's leading hub for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, and creative events. Ghana will also begin this year the renovation of the State Banquet Hall, which has been closed for a couple of years. Mr. Speaker, this year we will strengthen Ghana's standing in the major global and continental sporting events. We will make our 5th FIFA World Cup appearance. And for us, this is an opportunity to boost national branding and the economy beyond just sports. Mr. Speaker, supporters and other people interested in going to support the team would have to submit a visa request to the American Embassy. We are being told that we must ensure that supporters who go return on the visas. It has taken a lot of work to restore Ghana's 5-year non-immigrant visas and take us off the ban list. It is my hope that this event will not send thousands of Ghanaians to America and get us back on the ban list. Mr. Speaker, the Black Queens will compete at the 2026 African Cup of Nations, Women's African Cup of Nations, building on their bronze medal finish in Morocco. At the youth level, Ghana will participate in the 2026 Youth Olympic Games in Dakar with a multidisciplinary team aimed at strengthening long-term elite pathways. We'll also compete at the Commonwealth Games 2026 in Glasgow, reinforcing Ghana's presence across the Commonwealth sporting landscape. Mr. Speaker, as a member of the Ghana Journalists Association, I've been deeply concerned about the abuses suffered by journalists at the hands of some of our errant security personnel. I've asked the leadership of the security agencies to take firm action and to reorient their men and women on the need to be accommodating to journalists who are only doing their job of keeping citizens informed. I've also been concerned about the state of our state-owned media, most of which have suffered from historical underfunding and grappling with deteriorating infrastructure and facilities. I recently toured these media houses to learn about their challenges at first hand, and we're currently putting together a revitalization plan to leverage their valuable assets and re-inject life into their operations. The reintroduction of the Media Development Fund is also being reconsidered to support the Ghanaian media. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, during my recent trip to Zambia, we saw what a united Ghana can achieve on the global stage. A simple mislabeling of our culture could have reduced us to a punchline. Instead, we moved with speed and confidence. We corrected the record. We turned what was supposed to be ridicule into reach. We turned confusion into connection. We taught what could have been a negative social media trend into a handshake of friendship with our Zambian brothers and sisters. Mr. Speaker, for most people, that episode was just a fleeting social media frenzy. Yet it served a greater purpose. It showed a nation that understands its brand equity. It showed citizens aligned around a common identity. It showed a country that knows who we are and refuses to be defined by others. But let us be honest, unity in moments of cultural pride has proved easier than unity in moments of political disagreement. If we can mobilize that same collective resolve for our development agenda, we will see real progress. And that mobilization is possible because we are the descendants of a people who united against political subjugation. We resisted economic exploitation. and we fought colonial oppression. Mr. Speaker, our pursuit of national development today demands that same unity of purpose. We must reject misrepresentation and distortion that detract from our collective progress. We must guard our development as firmly as we guard our cultural identity. We must act as one people with one purpose. Mr. Speaker, in public life, there is a simple maxim we're all very familiar with, and it says that the buck stops with the president. Mr. Speaker, I not only agree with this. Every day I hold office of president, I live by that statement that the buck stops with me. The ultimate responsibility for the direction of this nation rests with the office that I hold, and I'll never shirk that duty. But nation building is not merely a question of who provides the strategic direction and who bears the final responsibility. It is a long chain of efforts that carries intent into reality, from policy conception to laws enacted, to resources mobilized, to services delivered, to value created on farms, in workshops, in classrooms, in markets, and in enterprises across our land. Mr. Speaker, it is here that the strength of a people reveals itself. It is in the countless acts of competence, integrity, and industry by citizens of every calling whose work turns national purpose into lived reality. Mr. Speaker, while the bulk may stop with me, the work of nation building goes beyond that. Through the labor, enterprise, and civic spirit of millions of Ghanaians whose daily efforts give policy life. Mr. Speaker, I will continue to carry the weight of final accountability. And I ask in equal measure that our citizens bring their full measure of energy, skills, and patriotism to the common task of advancing our country. That is how nations are built. That is how economies grow. No policy can substitute for civic duty. No program can replace the quiet discipline with which millions of Ghanaians sustain their families, serve their communities, and carry this republic forward each day. Mr. Speaker, we are sometimes tempted to judge our nation only by our failures and our difficulties. But the country is not defined solely by its difficulties. It is defined by the choices its people make in response to those difficulties. Repeatedly through our history, Ghanaians have chosen steadiness over despair, cooperation over division, and purpose over cynicism. That is the deeper strength on which our future rests. We faced testy moments before, and we have overcome them. We've gone periods of economic strain, transitions that have demanded much from our citizens and our public servants alike. And Mr. Speaker, there's an African proverb that says, however long the night is, the dawn will break. Mr. Speaker, the dawn is breaking for Ghana. The moment we are in requires not only endurance but also action. It reminds us that renewal belongs to those who prepare for the morning, while others still speak of and look back at the darkness. For Ghana today, that dawn is not a promise we must recite. It is a reality we must build into our institutions, into our economy, and in the ethics of responsibility we pass on to the next generation. So let us live each day mindful that the Republic is larger than any one political party, any office, any individual. This Republic belongs equally to the farmer, the trader, the teacher, the nurse, the artisan, the entrepreneur, the parliamentarian, and the young citizen, and the elderly retired personnel. Mr. Speaker, each of these people has a stake in our nation, and each one has a duty. Each has a claim on the future we're shaping together. Mr. Speaker, nations endure not because they are spared trial, but because their people refuse to surrender to trial. Ghana has been tested before. We did not surrender. We will not surrender now. And so with gratitude for how far we have come, and with the resolve for the work ahead, I say, Mr. Speaker, the state of our nation is resilient, the state of our nation is renewing, and our nation is firmly in the hands of its people. Our nation is on the brink of takeoff, and so, ladies and gentlemen, passengers, fasten your seatbelts. I thank you for your attention.
Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members, please. Honorable members, you know we are in this together, and you understand as accomplished parliamentarians that when the speaker is on his feet, every other person please, you don't only resume your seats, but you also keep silent. Honorable members, before I convey the gratitude of the House to His Excellency the President for the message, permit me to acknowledge some more senior patriots who are with us here today. We have the leader of the People's National Convention in the person of Bernard Mona. We also have the leader of the All People's Congress, APC, in the person of Hassan Abdullahi Ayaraga. And we have my senior brother, the former flag bearer of the Convention People's Party, Ivor Robina Greenstreet, also with us here. Please, you are all warmly welcome. Honorable members, in accordance with Standing Order 72, Rule 4, I convey to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, the gratitude of the House for the address. Honorable members, again, in accordance with the practice of this House, a formal communication will be forwarded to His Excellency the President after the House has thoroughly debated this message. So His Excellency will hear from us. I know you are ready. Honorable members, we, by our rules, are to sit for 5 hours per sitting. When it's not up to 5 hours, the motion for adjournment has to be moved. And here we are. We have spent a lot of time, but not yet 5 hours. And so I'll have to call on the leaders. Starting with the minority leader. And honorable members, in consultation with the leaders, I'm giving each of them 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Please, we hear you for only 5 minutes. Then after that, I put the question for adjournment. Yes, minority leader.
Speaker, with respect, let me thank you for the opportunity and thank Mr. President for living up to this constitutional obligation. But Mr. Speaker, what the President failed to tell the people of Ghana is that 1 year in government, he's still acting with slogans, no action. Mr. Speaker, electricity tariffs have skyrocketed and Ghanaians cannot afford electricity. We have thousands of Ghanaian youths who are, Mr. Speaker, can they be quiet and listen? Because if they misconduct themselves, we will do the same to their leader. Keep quiet. They don't take away my time. If you don't keep quiet and listen to me, your leader cannot speak. If you don't know, I'm telling you. Mr. Speaker, thousands of Ghanaian youths were dismissed through a letter by the Chief of Staff. It's part of the State of the Nation. Mr. Speaker, as we speak, there is a scandal looming. Security services recruitment, TribeNet, we know who brought that company to the ministry. Kama has a way. And we, the minority, will pursue the person and make sure there's full disclosure. Mr. Speaker, the cocoa farmers, they have reduced producer price and Erikopoku cannot be found. They don't care about cocoa farmers and they are here telling us inflation, macroeconomics, lebedi. Macroeconomics lebedi. Mr. Speaker, Galamsey continues. Ghanaians continue to suffer under this Galamsey hardship. And we expect concrete action to be taken on Galamsey. Mr. Speaker, to conclude, our elders say, give credit where credit is due. Mr. President is telling us today that some gains have been made. Those gains through this gold for reserve. Mr. Speaker, the gold for reserve policy, what they have failed to tell Ghanaians is that the Bawumia that they attack, Mr. Speaker, the Bawumia that they attack, the Bawumia that you attacked is the brainchild of this policy. Mr. Speaker, I would want to urge the government, give to Bawumia what belongs to Bawumia. And Mr. Speaker, we are happy they are showing a picture trying to embarrass the former finance minister. We've seen, but very soon, let me assure you that somebody, a senior appointee who is in charge of this TribeNet, would go to jail. So the one behind TribeNet, the one who introduced TribeNet to the ministry, who is chopping money, Mr. Speaker, we are happy you are showing. Very soon we'll bring a picture. Then you will see the one in charge of TribeNet duping innocent Ghanaians, duping their unemployed youths. There are many youths who are looking for jobs, and this TribeNet, with the connivance of an appointee of government, she will be exposed. So you continue with Kenoforiata. Soon and very soon it will be your turn. Mr. Speaker, I will conclude by saying that this side of the house, we are ready today to debate on this SONA. And by Monday, the true SONA will be revealed by the minority. By Monday, we, the minority, will present to the people of Ghana the true state of the nation. Mr. Speaker, that said, let me thank you for the opportunity, and I wish Mr. President well. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, please. Honorable members. Honorable members, let's now listen to the majority leader. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of my colleagues in this House, we want to thank His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for his excellent leadership.
Honorable members, please. Honorable members. Honorable members, please. Honorable members, please. We are not at a rally ground. Please. You must know that this House has the power to terminate. Yes. By law, the membership of a member of parliament. Please. This is just a reminder to all of you. Again, this is a reminder to all of you. Majority Leader, you may continue.
I want to thank His Excellency, the President John Dramani Mahama, for his leadership. Ghanaians are very grateful to you. Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that the Ghana you inherited and the Ghana you speak of today is like day and night. The Ghana you inherited is as dark as the dark dresses that they are wearing on the other side. And the Ghana you speak of today is clearly as bright as the white dresses that we are wearing on this side. Mr. Speaker, clearly everything that you have said here is true. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Afenyo Makin will attest to that. he will attest to the fact that the big push is pushing through Winneba steadily. And he's getting premix. Mr. Speaker, it seems today is about cocoa prices. I can understand. Mr. Speaker, let me read Reuters today. Reuters has confirmed Ivory Coast will pay cocoa farmers 800 to 1,000 CFA francs per kilogram for the mid-crop starting March 1st. The main crop price was to Ivory Coast will pay cocoa farmers 800 to 1,000 CFA francs per kilogram from the mid-crop starting March 1st. The main crop price was 2,800 CFA francs per kilogram. When converted to Ghana cedis, this is about 980 to 1,225 per 64 kilogram bag. In Ghana, farmers are paid 2,587 per 64 kilogram bag, which is more than twice the price in Ivory Coast. This is confirmed this morning by Reuters. Mr. Speaker, I see written on the muffler of my friends in black that MPP Yaya Mobo Dodo. Leadership that has been recognized by the entire West Africa. That is why they unanimously elected you unopposed to lead in Africa. Ghanaians are proud of you. This Ramadan, many of our people could afford sugar and rice because the prices have come down. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Majority Leader,
let me conclude.
Your 5 minutes is up.
Let me conclude by seconding the motion. The motion moved my friends.
Honorable Majority Leader, you will now move the motion for adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House adjourns until Tuesday in the forenoon. I so move.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, much as we are willing to work, the majority is unwilling to work. So, Mr. Speaker, I will reluctantly second the motion to grant the pleasure of the majority leader who wants to go and rest. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved and seconded. And the question is, as many as are in favor of adjournment, say aye. As many as are against, say no. Honorable members, clearly the ayes have it. The House is accordingly adjourned till Tuesday, 3rd March 2026 at 2 p.m. The House is adjourned.
Okay, at this level, is it good? Or you want me to increase it, or you want me to reduce it? Am I increasing the volume, or I'm reducing? The President of the Republic of Ghana just delivered a message on the state of the nation. This is in accordance with the provisions of Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution, and you're still watching GH Parliament TV, the Parliament TV station that brings you real-time events as they occur from the institution of Parliament, told by members and staff of the Parliament. President John Mahama touched on a number of issues during the presentation of the State of the Nation. And some of the things he touched on include economic recovery and growth, and he spoke about the fact that Ghana's GDP projected to reach $113 billion in 2025, up from $83 billion in 2024. There are also indications of the fact that inflation is reduced by 23%, from 23% at the end of 2024 to 3.8% as at January 2026. Government borrowing is also reduced, spending made more responsible. Interest rates are also falling, and private sector confidence has been restored. At the moment, according to President John Dramani Mahama, over 1 million jobs have been created and 1 million people have left the poverty threshold. Indeed, as he indicated to the Right Honourable Speaker during the speech, Ghana is getting back on track. Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution mandates the President to deliver a State of the Nation address to Parliament at the start of each session and before its dissolution. This message usually outlines the country's economic, social and political status, as well as future administration plans, and that's what happened today. Now, the procession is heading to where the President will sign Parliament's visitors book. As I indicated earlier, this is a procession made of the clerks at table, the leadership of the House, the Right Honourable Speaker, the Marshal, who's our Sergeant at Arms, bears our state's symbol of authority, which is the mace. The state sword bearer also carries the state sword in the procession. Of course, the judiciary has its scales of justice also present when they come for the occasion. As usual, members of the media eager to get riveting photos for the occasion. Mr. President heads to sign the book, the visitors book for the institution of Parliament, and he is currently at the Speaker's lobby, which is where the Speaker retires to anytime he has to leave the chamber or excuse himself or take any visitors and stuff like that. He goes to the visitors lobby. Opposite the visitors lobby is the clerks at table lobby, where the clerks change and also hold their little meetings before. The Right Honourable Speaker, in a conversation with the wife of the President, our First Lady, Her Excellency Lodina Mahama. Of course, the Vice President, Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, is also there. Spouse of the Chief Justice also there. And Mr. President is signing the book. Of course, in attendance is the Marshal of Parliament. And this is a constitutional duty which the President fulfills at least once in a year. Preparations for the State of the Nation address is something that involves a lot of people and agencies. Meetings and discussions are had with the security agencies, with service providers, with state agencies. Members of Parliament play a very important role, and Colonel Ofosu, Principal Marshal in your shots there. Earlier, Colonel Bauer, Wing Commander Bauer was bearing the mace, but I see that Colonel Ofosu is overseeing the signing of the visitors book. And this is a very special occasion, and anybody who gets assigned to perform any role feels very special, because it's not every day that you get to serve the President in such a special capacity. And so I'm sure Colonel Ofosu is having a very proud moment Mr. Speaker, still talking to the First Lady of our land. And this is where members of the Parliament and some staff may get photo opportunities with His Excellency the President. And Director of State Protocol also overseeing activities and ensuring that work is going on smoothly. Mr. President still writing his message. I'm sure he's wishing Parliament well and pledging to oversee a good or a better 2026 where we build on the very, very good gains that were made in 2025. The police band always comes and plays the national anthem and other patriotic songs at such a special occasions, and they ensure that generally the program goes well. I mean, what's a program without music? After all, they say he who sings prays twice. As we said at the beginning of the program, the President touched on a number of issues and sectors like health, education, agriculture, and I saw the cocoa pots that the members of the minority had in the chamber. Now it's the turn of the Vice President, Her Excellency Professor Nana Jane Opoku, to sign the visitors book. Professor Jane Nana Opoku is a woman that has distinguished herself in public life. She distinguished herself in the media, distinguished herself in academia, and served in various ministerial positions before she ascended to the high office of Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. I'm trying to mention Mr. Speaker's traditional name, but I know better because I don't know whether it's Tagli Na or something like that, but the Right Honourable Speaker holds chieftaincy titles in 4 different traditional areas in Ghana. Another well-established, distinguished legislator, a man that has worked very hard. We call him a he for she. He's worked very hard to ensure that Ghana's parliamentary democracy is entrenched. I'm sure probably one of the highlights of his career where he supervised a hung parliament and the art of ensuring that, and now it's the turn of the Chief Justice to sign the book. Again, his wife is looking on, the Vice President is also looking on. The President of the Republic is there also. Our very own Right Honourable Albans Mana Kingsford Bagbin is there. And as usual, a tete-a-tete going on between our number 1 and number 2 and number 1's better half. I'm sure Mr. Speaker is a very proud man. Having been part of the parliamentary from 1993 and going through every possible position that is in Parliament, minority leader, majority leader, from backbencher, not really backbencher. 1993, I think he was in the middle, and then quickly he moved to the front and he stayed there. And the good thing about Speaker Bagbin is that he's got the opportunity to mentor so many legislators, both locally and internationally. And he's played many, many important roles on the international front, holding leadership positions in the International Parliamentary Union and the CPA. And in 2022, Ghana hosted the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association Conference in Accra, the 66th, and it was under his auspices as president of the CPA. Mr. Speaker exchanged pleasantries with members of Parliament. He just spoke to the minority leader. That's the clerk to Parliament. Camilo is the deputy clerk. And I know that the head of table Equia is there, as well as Eunice from the table office, all exchanging pleasantries with the President, the First Lady, the Chief Justice, these are our flower girls. Brought all the way from the Oti region. I am sure their parents will be very happy. And I have with me Honorable Isaac Wamanyaku. He is the member for Efia. Honorable, this is a beautiful ceremony, isn't it?
Oh yes, it has always been when you have the president visiting Parliament to deliver a state of the nation.
What was your key takeaway? And the glass is half full rather than half empty.
No, it is actually almost empty, not half full.
Not at all.
Because I told you earlier in the morning that my expectations are to do more with creating opportunities for the youth in terms of employment. And if you listen to the minority leader, he gave that signal that the letter from the chief of staff has led to the dismissal of so many Ghanaians, and the president didn't show us any direction in terms of creating employment for the Ghanaian youth. Worse still is the agricultural sector, where you wanted to see a lot more of what government has done in the year 2025. That also didn't come out so strongly. So basically the main ingredient that offers opportunity for employment, we don't seem to have it, and I think that was missing in the State of the Nation's address.
Yes, but there were some really good highlights as well. I mean, employment for over 1 million people, people going out of the poverty threshold. These are things that we should also highlight. That
data from the Statistical Service ought to be interrogated, because over the past year till now, governments have never shown us the areas where the employment were created. So these are numbers that are now being churned out, and their reliance is the Statistical Service. But we need to be very careful, because over the year, we've never seen where these 1 million jobs are being created. The youth remain unemployed. We've never seen it in industry. We've not seen it at the manufacturing sector. Government itself has not done any employment over the past year, 2025. So it's very worrying to see where that true number of
on our screens now, the leadership, the second deputy speaker, first deputy speaker have now joined the president and the vice president and Mr. Speaker, the Chief Justice, to take a very memorable photograph. I'll have to let you go, Isaac, because I see that more of our colleagues are there. But I want to invite you to our TV station. Come and let's have a longer conversation on this matter. And do enjoy your day.
Awesome. Have a blessed day too.
Thank you very much. Deputy Director for Broadcasting doing his thing. They're trying to get Mr. President. Oh, and that's our clerk and our deputy clerk, together with the head of table and the marshal. I'm taking a photograph with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. Of course, my very own brother, Fred Bauer, is also in the background with the mace, which is the authority of Parliament, which is a symbol of authority of Parliament. And today has been a special day. This is a special edition of our coverage on GH Parliament TV, and the plan is to bring you real-time happenings from the real source where it happens, and conversations are being had by the people who are themselves the actors of the things that you see. And today we've had an opportunity to not only see the state of the nation, which we always see in the media, but also for the very first time ever tell the Parliament story our own way. And I am being joined by a man who should have been here a lot earlier, because he's my partner in crime. We worked very hard to see this come to fruition. Congratulations. I didn't get a chance to congratulate you on GH Parliament TV.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
well
so
done.
much. Yeah.
But I've been seeing your documentary.
Yes.
And every time I see the documentary, I'm like, why didn't you say, oh, I worked with Kate on it?
Kate, everybody knows that you lead the team. So when we talk about Parliament TV, we cannot skip you. You know that you have been on the drive since.
How have you been?
I've been very well. Terrific.
Today,
yes.
How did it go?
I'm so happy. I'm so happy, so happy. I can't express it, because it is one of the best State of the Nation address that we have ever witnessed in the history of this country. If you consider the fact that Ghana was taken back, in fact, it is projected that we were taken back about 20 years just in 8 years. They took us back to 20 years. And then this president has been able to navigate through the challenges by paying all our debt, in fact, almost all our debt, because he highlighted that the debt owed by WAIC or to WAIC has been paid fully. We have also serviced many of our bilateral debt as well. And that alone gives me relief. It means that some people come to accumulate debt and show no results. Others come to pay our debt and show results just in 1 year. What he has been able to achieve is remarkable, and that is what makes me so very happy.
You know, in the morning, we had conversations before the State of the Nation, and the question I kept asking your colleagues was whether they had specific interest areas that they like the president to talk about. Yeah. Did you have a specific area that you were interested in?
Of course, Kate, you know that.
Communication.
Yes, exactly. You know. You know very well that my interest area is communication. The president just delivered. In fact, I knew what we have achieved within the 1 year together with the Minister for Communication, Honorable Sam George. In fact, what we have been able to do is rolling out the 1 million coders. That is going to take a lot of our youth from the streets into, getting knowledge in coding. And that is going to change their lives. We are currently selecting coders, or if you like, leaders, or those who are going to drive this through the various districts and constituencies. And I'm so happy that it is taking shape. The University of Ghana is involved, GIFEC is involved, Kofi Annan ICT Center is involved, everybody. There is also the private sector that is also willing to come on board with this. So it is something that we have achieved. In fact, we are currently also building ICT centers in all the districts in the country.
You know, I have youth parliamentarians in my public engagement department, so maybe I'll come and lobby, and then we'll give them some.
Why not? The ministry is open. In fact, what we want to do, we want to change Ghana into a hub of ICT. Like the president mentioned, go to Dawa village at Pram Pram. It is coming big time, where we're going to have all the multi-corporations in the ICT industry come to Ghana to set and to employ the youngsters that are there. In fact, this year we're going to have the girls in ICT. We want to ensure that those who will be trained, we will monitor their progress up to the level where Google and then the likes of MTN within the country can employ them, and where they can also learn skill to be, self-employed as well. So we are doing a lot in the ICT industry. Currently, the ministry is reviewing about 15 bills. We're going to have the cybersecurity bill. We're going to have NCA bill also, law also reviewed. We have the data protection. For yesterday, we celebrated data protection. Day yesterday at the Alisa. Yes, exactly. The speaker was supposed to be there. In fact, the second deputy speaker
was there.
Yeah, exactly.
And he stayed the whole day.
Exactly. So all of these are happening within the space of just 1 year, and we are achieving results. Look at the road sector, where the president talked about the big push. In fact, and it is not just saying, but it is working. It is happening right now. From Bintiri to Nagbanduri, there is a big push now. The contractor is there. In fact, at Hutu, Afenya constituency is called what? Afenya's constituency.
What's the leader's constituency? Minority leader.
Afenya. It is just to say that. It's just to say that
we shouldn't be pardoned. So in rounding up, give me. Will I see you on the floor talking about these things during the debate?
Of course, I'm going to lead the debate as far as the ICT sector is concerned. And you will hear more during the debate. And it is time that all Ghanaians rally behind us, because they have seen the good work. In fact, the other side came only to talk about cocoa. And they have also lost the argument there, because like the leader in giving his remarks indicated, we are doing even better than Cote d'Ivoire in terms of cocoa pricing. So what are they talking about?
So this is the part where I let you go.
Yes.
With the promise that you have to come to our studio and spend an hour. I'm eliciting that promise, especially from you, because this is your baby. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for making this happen. We know what we had to do, and we know that had we not been firm, it would
we
not
wouldn't
have
have been
happened.
able to. Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, so let me also take this opportunity to thank you and to congratulate you
And the team.
for giving the support. In fact, you lead the team.
Yeah,
so the
team.
thanks goes to you and the team. In fact, the camera guys, I see them going up and down and make sure that we are live every time.
Thank you so much.
In fact, Ghanaians should expect more from Parliament TV.
Thank you for the endorsement. We'll see you again. So we are moving on, and as I indicated, you are live on GH Parliament TV, and our aim today has been to inform you, educate you, and entertain you, and we promise you that we are going to be having more of such programs as we go along. We are less than a year old, but we do know that we are going places, and we're taking you along with us. And so, yeah, I have another member of parliament. Everybody knows you. I was eating at a place that you were at last week, and everybody kept coming to tell me, "Oh, this person is here." I said, "I know." I said, "What do you want me to do?" It's like, wow. So it's like I've come to say, "Oh, pay my bills." I should have done that, don't you think?
I think so. I think you should have improved yourself.
Yeah, but I didn't. I thought you should eat in peace. So how are you today?
I'm doing well and glowing, having heard good news from His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana.
I watched it, and so I have a good idea of what was said. But let's hear what you think of it.
For me, I was impressed how he took the address sector by sector, analyzed the challenges as he inherited, and not just complain or let us know the challenge. Also let us know the solutions he brought on board and the outcome of same. So if you realize health, he dealt strategically with it. And for me, as regional minister for Ashanti, I was interested in getting to hear the key hospital infrastructure or facilities within my area. And I heard his commitment towards Sewua Afari Konfanochi maternity block. And it was a good one for me. In education, having to be able to support the educational sector, especially to eradicate the double track system. And he did justice to same. And I'm so impressed. When it came to roads, he equally delivered in terms of letting us know that he's not just a president for Jubilee House, he's president for the country and he knows what is happening on the grounds. For me, and equally in my interest as regional minister, he made mention of the key big push projects that are happening within the region. The Outer Kumasi Ring Road, the Swami Interchange, the Mahojo Runabout, the Kwara Runabout, Outstretch, Sunyani Kumasi Road, Phase 2, and the Accra Kumasi Express Road, which is the flagship of it all.
So then I'm assuming that when the debate starts from Tuesday, you're going to be talking about roads.
Unfortunately, I will not be in the chamber to do the debate as a minister,
but not a member of parliament. Yes. You see, so the thing about, again, this is a point of education for our viewers. The thing about members of parliament is that, in fact, you are allowed to attend upon the house and even contribute to debate. However, you cannot vote. Yes. So you can actually come and talk about it, but I understand that you'd like to give room to those
I
who
believe my members of parliament
would do a good job of it. So let me say bye-bye to you, but when are we seeing you on Parliament TV to give us...
Anytime I'm in the capital city, I'll pass through.
The Tumfo is my uncle and father, so
nice.
Send my kind regards to him and take good care of the region. And I'm sure we'll see you around.
Anytime you're around, let me give you a presidential treat.
Definitely. Thank you for coming. So the conversation is going on, and may I have Honorable to join me so that we can...
Minister.
Oh, they want to? Okay, very well. Yeah, very well. So we are talking about MPs and their expectations and whether these expectations were met at the just ended address by His Excellency the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, on the state of our nation. Honorable, welcome.
Thank you.
And I saw the cocoa, and I'm thinking.
When the last time you saw cocoa?
I am an Accra girl, but I have seen cocoa once in a while.
Oh, okay.
I know what the cocoa looks like, but I'm